Till y'all really voted for this foolishness, they ought to deport this clown. They ought to get him the hell out the country. Y'all really thought this is gonna work? Good luck, New York City. Look at this foolishness. Look how I want y'all to notice how quick he passed this question off. They really voted for this clown, this foolishness. Well, I got a million some votes. Yeah, he said everything was gonna be free. They could have sent Rick out there. And I would have got a million. If I'd have stayed on script, it'd have been the same thing.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head.
I'm going to pass it over.
GPAC to add some additional details.
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque, and also we manage who's buying and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers. So we are mindful of that, and so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
Stop. Before I can continue, I need to verify your identity.
Verify my identity. I'm buying vegetables.
Please insert your driver's license. It needs to confirm that the ID is real before I can release the letter.
You need my ID for carrots and a salad?
Ma'am, this is a restricted vegetable.
Identity pending.
Hold on, I need to check your ID before we can continue.
This is a fake ID.
What? No, that's real! Let go of me! Welcome, everyone. Identification is completely unnecessary, but please show your ID to claim the $50 gift card.
So I need ID for the gift card, but not to vote?
Sir, please stop asking dangerous questions. Who wants free ice cream?
No ID! Free Sprite!
For Mamdani, let's be very clear about what he's doing. This is not an attempt to make America or New York City more prosperous. It's not an attempt to promote human flourishing or to do any kind of good for his community. It is purely a weapon that he can use against his political enemies, i.e. taxpayers and business owners who are going to be run out of business because they're having to compete with the government, and a way for him to use these grocery stores to reward his political allies. And those are the people that he believes are going to be using the grocery stores, whose votes he's essentially buying off. It is a raw Machiavellian power play, and I think that's what is so in many ways so disturbing and disgusting about it.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you, every time we do a show on this clown here, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Foolishness. Hey, you. This is what they voted for. Clap it up for yourself. I hope everybody that's tuned in today's show that you are blessed, well, and healthy, man. What a time to be alive, man. And we're living in times where you don't know what to expect next, man. And this corrupt scam matrix has gone to hell, man. I tell you, boy. Oof. We got Elon Musk saying in the next few years, money won't even matter. Oh, man. Cash won't even matter. Oh, man. They say the AI gonna be doing everything. They say the AI gonna take out the trash for you. I tell you, man. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I went through the Taco Bell drive-through a few weeks ago. The AI was talking to me. They say, Rick, you got that explosive diarrhea? No, I didn't get it. I got lucky. They say once you go to that Taco Bell, that's it for you. But no, man, my mom wanted 2 crunchy taco supremes when I went back to the city to check up on her. So I said, Mom, I'm gonna go by Taco Bell and get you them crunchy taco supremes. So I got them crunchy taco supremes, man. Y'all know when mama called, you got to take care of mama, man. She said, son, I don't feel like cooking. I just want some tacos. I said, I got you, mama. You know? And I decided to give me one of them little burritos, you know. But I didn't catch that explosive diarrhea that's going around right now. That parasite, what's that parasite called? You know, it's always a new name. Hypocrisy, Cheeriolosis, something. I don't know. I tell you, man, it's always something new. But I wanted to get into this on today's show, man. You know, this might be your favorite basketball player, one of your favorites. You might like him, you might not. You might know him, you might not know him. But a lot of people know Kyle Kuzma. He has called out Mamdani. And he says a mayor playing president. And this is what Kyle Kuzma said, and it has broke the internet this past week. And I wanted to just read this out to y'all. But Kyle Kuzma posted, "This is 2026. People cosplaying as things they don't have the authority, the talent, or the track record to actually be, just for content. A mayor playing president, a founder playing operator, a content creator playing one-on-one thinking he's a pro, a 25-year-old with a ring light playing an economist. Everyone auditioning, nobody building. We're raising a generation that learning the reward isn't in doing the thing. It's looking like you did the." Hold on. I can't even read. I'm reading so fast. Wait a second. I sound like Ben Crump and them black activists that can't read. Hold on. We're raising a generation that learning the reward isn't in doing the thing. It's in looking like you did the thing. Okay, I'm just making, maybe it's the wording he put, but the clip is the career. The pose is the product. The soundbite is the substitute for a life's work. Don't fall for distractions. And as you know, he made this post on Mayor Mamdani making that viral video saying that Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal and he needs to be arrested. Yeah, you know. And then he also just came out and once again hit back on him for his free, you know, his grocery stores and everything that's taking place right now. But I think everybody needs to hear this clip. This viral pastor that everybody has been loving and is starting to love even more, and especially the year 2026, Pastor Manny is going nuclear viral. And if you haven't heard him, and this is your first time, you're in for a treat. Check this out.
And this
is in the church. This is in the church.
Nigga who had the slightest inclination to vote for Mamdani. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You sick. Mamdani had a celebration down in City Hall of all the immigrants, all the Muslims, all the immigrants down there. No niggas. Here's a man that hates the Constitution and that which makes us Americans. He's a Muslim, for crying out loud. He's a jihadist at core. His wife is a lesbo jihadist, Hamas supporter, Intifada believer. Here you nigga talking about Mamdani gonna give us a free bus ride. Hell, it doesn't matter if they're handing out free sandwiches in hell. I ain't going.
Free sandwiches in
nigga,
hell.
are you crazy? You get a free bus ride. Don't get a free bus. Get your ass a job. Get a job, nigga. Go to work.
Amen.
Free bus ride. I always want something free. Well, he's our boy. All you gotta say to get a nigga is say we got free food. And that nigga talking we got free grocery stores. You should have seen the niggas jumping up and down. Won't work, don't got a job, can't hold a job, ain't got no money, don't have no security. But Mamdani gonna give us a free food. Damn! I don't need you to give me no free food. I buy my own. There's something wrong with black folks. This got Moses in trouble.
This got Moses in trouble.
You think I shopped him? Sell out.
Oh man, he is something else, man. And his recent one he just did 2 days ago, speaking on Mamdani. Oh, that was a treat as well. Oh my goodness, man. I love playing that clip, man. Especially for people that it's their first time on the show or first time seeing it. They're like, oh my gosh, Rick, I love this pastor. Oh my goodness. What's his name? Pastor Manning. Go look him up. Do your research on him. I mean, he's been speaking like this for quite a while. He's been speaking like that in the church for quite a while. And you should honestly do some research on it. And he even explains and why he talks like that. And he goes really, really deep on a lot of things. And a lot of people agree with it. So, I would tell people, go do your own research. Go check him out. He's all over Facebook, TikTok, X, everywhere. Just look up Pastor. This says on the search bar, this says Pastor Mamdani. But no, this is Pastor Manny. Pastor James David Manny. Right here. That is his full name, James David Manny. Well, oh boy.
New York's mayor thinks looters are going to steal his free groceries. Look at this.
That deal, basically. And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level?
This all has to come up, right? So we all seen this coming.
From that essential basket.
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, GPAC, to add some additional details.
Oh, why doesn't he want to answer? That's weird.
Like I said in the beginning of the show, just passes it off so quick,
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing.
A library card.
And also we manage who's buying and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers.
How are you going to do that?
So we are mindful of that. And so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
Oh, so they're going to have something in place to make sure that only New Yorkers are shopping there. Might be a library card, but don't worry, folks. It won't be ID because in New York, we don't require that to do anything. Watch this.
And we're talking about a city-run grocery store, one in each borough, which, by the way, you do not need an ID to shop at.
Oh.
What we've just heard in the news of today.
Oh, thank
We're talking
God.
about actually addressing the question of skyrocketing grocery
But
prices.
how are you going to do that?
In the last, 6 or 7 years.
Joyless Reed. I'm still surprised, man. She has a show or podcast or whatever, but then I'm not surprised, I was like, did I really think she was going to disappear? No, she's not going anywhere. Joyless Reed, but we know why MSDNC got rid of her. They should have just shut down the whole show and got rid of everybody, but they renamed it to MS now.
Years alone, an increase in grocery prices of around 30%. And we are going to be delivering a city-run grocery store, one in each borough, 5 in total, that will have the staples of a shopping experience, an essential basket of goods that are discounted by 30%.
30%
typical
off.
Retail prices.
How are you going to stop people from shopping there?
Will be able to feel in their pocket. They'll be able to save hundreds of dollars on an annual basis, knowing that the city is looking to actually deliver for them on something that is a non-negotiable in their life.
But you're delivering it for everyone because everyone's going to be able to shop there. Now, at first, it sounded like there was going to be an ID card. And right away, the regime went into overdrive, making sure that nobody thought you would need ID to get the 30% off from the Mamdani marts, which means there's no plan in place to stop somebody from driving in from New Jersey or Connecticut or wherever and loading up a truck and taking off to their own store where they resell all that same stuff. And then there's all the people in New York that sell things on the side of the road. Where are they going to get those products? Are they going to be getting them cheaper than a distributor would sell them to them? This is why these free stores don't make any sense. There's zero cost to operate the store. They don't pay taxes. They don't pay utilities. They could buy whatever they want and sell it for whatever they want. And now they're going to sell it to everybody. There's no way this is going to work. Watch this.
Donnie, city-owned grocery stores, because you're not going to have an ID. You don't even have to prove that you live in New York, even though it's New York taxpayer-funded grocery stores.
It's a handout to everyone.
We're going to have a bunch of freeloaders that want to come to New York now. Just for all the free. What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. Communism for everyone.
Rushing to the grocery store. This is what the mayor had to say about this.
This is so wild.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically?
They did not have an answer. He stepped away from the mic, notice that, and had this woman come up and proclaim that there was going to be a library card, and the backlash was massive. They are making it up as they go along, folks. What they're going to do in New York is they're going to steal from those who are productive and live here, and they're going to give that out to the entire world. Remember, this is a sanctuary city, and the resources of New York are open to the entire world. All you got to do is get here. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what state you live in. We're going to tax the productive and give it to everyone. This place is going to implode so quickly, your head is going to spin. Watch this.
This is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling.
We are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing, and also we manage who's buying, and that is focused on everyday.
Look at their faces. They didn't have any problem with her saying there was going to be some sort of check or balance to make sure only people from New York came here. Look, they're all in agreement. They're all hanging out. And then they said, gee, wait a minute. We're a no ID state. We don't need ID to do anything here. Better not have it to come to the grocery store.
So a library card-esque card. They're so afraid of saying an ID.
They don't want to say
even though that's what they're saying, that you're going to have an ID. But they're not going to check where the person is from. They're not going to check what their income is. And so this is going to be the fastest lesson in economics, in math, in basic reality that has ever hit. Mamdani is going to understand economics at the end of this.
No, he's not.
When every bodega owner in the neighborhood who he's trying to undercut by selling stuff 30% below market value.
Oh, yeah. Every small business in town, those are going to be done. Because you know what? You can't compete with 30% off. And these stores, they're going to be required to have more than just bananas and oranges in them. There's going to be a core basket of goods that get the heavy discount. But these stores are going to have other things in them. And look at this. They will be open to everyone. There will be no system to verify identity, residency, or income, and no one will be asked to show ID to shop. City Hall confirmed. You're going to be paying for the entire world to rob you if you live in New York, and the mayor is totally okay with it. And you know what? Once this whole thing doesn't work out, he's going to say, well, we just need more money. We tried to help all these people, and it didn't work. And that's because all the rich people left, or they didn't pay enough, or you didn't pay your fair share. We need more taxes.
By selling stuff 30% below market value, goes to the store, buys everything, and then sells it for cheaper. I'm sure that's going to be illegal too. So they're going to have to jail people who go and take stuff out of the store for 30% cheaper and sell it.
They're not going to jail anybody.
Value. And then they're going to run out of product. And so then they're going to, within the first week, they're going to have to ration all of their grocery stores. So we're going to get to the end stages of the Soviet Union in the first week.
And here's how that's going to happen. They're not going to jail people for coming to these places and looting them and clearing them out. In fact, they're going to spin that and they're going to say, wow, we ran out of everything. It looks like the Soviet Union in here. And that's because this place really needs help. We need more free grocery stores. We need even more money because stuff is flying off the shelves and flying out the door and ended up on the sidewalk. Oh, yeah, we're helping so many people. We need even more money to do even more. But think of how many people we could help if instead of 5 grocery stores, we had 50 or 500. And look at where that's going to lead.
They're going to put bodegas out of business. Out of business. And when they do, you'll have no choice but to go to the government grocery store, which will have shortages. And when you do, you will need to get your ID in order to buy your groceries and your food.
They're going to do something.
It's all going in the same direction. Always is. These people are evil. We are looking to make sure we target New Yorkers, whether it be a sort of library card-esque thing. We also manage who's buying and that it is focused on everyday New Yorker.
Now, the interesting thing about that is the people telling us that this is going to be a store for New Yorkers will tell you that someone who came into the country illegally yesterday and is in New York today, living in a luxury hotel shelter today, is also a New Yorker. So their definition of a New Yorker includes everybody by default. That's why they're not going to check and see who's a New Yorker and who isn't, because everybody who finds themselves here is invariably a New Yorker according to these people. That's the plan. It's a plan that makes no sense, but it does make sense when you realize collapse is the real plan.
According to the proposal, the government grocery store operators will create free access cards that will help ensure that New Yorkers are not abusing the program.
Oh, how are they going to do
Shoppers
that?
without a card would not be prohibited from entering the store, but they would not be able to make any purchases without the ID.
Huh, that's weird. But
they say the operator will create a voluntary free-to-access membership card program to monitor sales activity and implement the discount program and any associated demand management measures. The savings card shall not be required for physical access to NYC grocery sites and shall be made easily available to any individual requesting one. The operators will work with NYC EDC to develop appropriate protocols for the collection, storage, and use of personal data shared by membership and card program participants.
Yeah, that's going to leak.
Conservative pundits began pointing out the irony of Mamdani's grocery store.
So, what is going to happen here? It sounds like they're going to have some sort of loyalty program. They're not going to stop anyone from coming into the store, but they may stop people from getting the 30% off discount if they don't have the loyalty card, which is supposed to be easy to access and available to everybody because everybody's a New Yorker. Got it. What could go wrong?
For ID, as Democrats have forcefully argued against passing legislation that would require ID to vote. Democrats have argued voter identification would suppress the votes of many women whose names changed after marriage. It's all a lie. But I don't really care, to be honest, about this argument like, haha, they want an ID to vote, but not to buy groceries. Hypocrites. They don't care. They know they're hypocrites. They know they're lying.
Right, and they're lying about this being something that is sustainable. None of this is sustainable. These stores are going to get looted out of oblivion by people taking advantage of them. Everybody that wants to sell vegetables on the sidewalk is going to start doing it. They're going to be doing it 30% off. These stores are going to empty out, and then the city's going to come along and say they need more of them. And this socialist train that is just headed in the wrong direction, full steam, full speed ahead, it's running out of money so fast, the mayor is actually running out of places to find it. Check this out.
Hello, this is Victor Davis Hansen for the Daily Signal. Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, has just stirred up a lot of controversy. He said that he wanted to go after property owners who had homes worth more than $5 million, and they were likely to be second homes.
Yep.
In other words, they had a primary residence elsewhere, either in the state of New York or outside the state of, or in a foreign country. And he wanted to tax them with a new surcharge in addition to property tax. But then when the letters went out, they didn't just go to the upper middle class or the wealthy who owned $5 million properties. Mamdani went back on his word and sent almost 950,000 letters out to property owners who on the register had a home worth more than $1 million.
Now, $1 million, is that a lot of money? If you have a home that's worth that, yeah, it is, but it's not like having $1 million home 30 years ago. In fact, many people who are working class, middle class New Yorkers may have a home valued in that range, and they're the ones getting these letters. And check this out and tell me if you think any of these people are out on luxury vacations, jetting around the world on private jets. Look at this.
Yeah, Christine, it's damage control for the administration. 17,000 homeowners received letters saying they may be subject to the tax, and now they have until September 18th to contest it. But many are upset now. They have to prove essentially where they live.
So we're here to stand united, and the people of Staten Island, the people who love this country, for all of you who've earned your home, to say enough is enough.
Staten Island Borough President Vito Fossella tonight at a rally blasting the pied-à-terre tax rollout by the Mamdani administration that's created confusion and anxiety among some homeowners.
I'm getting calls from clients that looked at the roll and they didn't think their market value was, qualified them for the tax.
But Mamdani and the city sure did. That's why they sent out these letters. They sent letters to everybody that might have even been close to hitting a threshold where they could tax them. And now, to not have to pay his taxes, you have to defend yourself. You have to go to the DMV, essentially, and deal with the DMV Postal Service mentality, which is how this city government operates, and prove that you're immune from the mayor's new taxes and that you're paying your fair share. And look who they're coming after.
An 81-year-old woman on the Upper East Side tells CBS News New York she's lived full-time in her townhouse for 3 decades and has no other residence, Yet she received a letter from the city warning she has until August 21st to prove she's exempt from the new pied-à-terre tax, or she'll owe $56,000.
They're coming after senior citizens for almost $60,000 when they live in their primary residence, which has appreciated over the last 3 decades and now puts them on this hit list, which is what many people are saying this list is, because they didn't just send out 17,000 letters
saying they would have to pay the new tax. It's aimed at the wealthy who have second homes valued at $5 million or more, or apartments valued at $1 million or more.
I understand the concerns New Yorkers have, especially when it comes to a new tax.
Today, Mayor Mamdani said he's hired 24 additional people to deal with complaints, and he's extended the deadline for people to seek an exemption.
Adding to the confusion is a list of hundreds of thousands of properties, most owned by New Yorkers who live here, published online as the new tax program was rolled out.
Why would you do that? Why would you publish a list of people who you claim aren't paying their fair share or might not be, who they are and where they live in your city? Like, that is just ridiculous. You don't do something like that if you care about the well-being of those people. You're basically marking them. And you got these mobs running all over the streets in New York, the same mobs that are in favor of the free grocery stores and now know where you live, and there weren't enough groceries today, but you live over there, huh? Yeah, gee, I wonder what that's going to lead to.
He's had all of these lavish welfare ideas that are not fundable because he's driving out the upper middle class and the wealthy, and they're leaving in droves.
He's attacking them.
Maybe $11 billion already in real value.
It's crazy.
In revenue. So he needs money.
Yep.
And more importantly, by sending this surtax out, in addition to property taxes, if you have a property that's worth $1 million or $2 million, and you're paying $20,000 or $30,000, $40,000 in property taxes, and this surtax comes in 10, 20, 30, a lot of people are saying, I'm not getting that much rent if it is a second home. If it's their primary home, they're saying, I already paid this huge property and I have maintenance costs. If you're renting, you have rental costs. You're subject to oversight. There's rental subsidies for your renter. There's rent control. And so what he's trying to do is force people to sell.
And what we heard earlier when Mamdani went out there and he said he's going to fine landlords, he said he was going to take away their buildings if they couldn't pay the fines. And he said he was going to increase the amount of fines and make sure that there were more fines. And the reason they want these people to sell isn't because they're not paying their fair share and they're jetting around on these luxury vacations. No, it's because if you own your own home in New York and you don't need the help of the government for anything, you are on this side of the fence and the communists are over here. Right? So you're opposed to the communists, even if you're a Mamdani voter, because you heard he was going to help the little guy and you believed him and you believed that he was going to do it with socialism.
And
you've got people in New York who are waking up, realizing that they are ideological enemies of the mayor, even though they voted for him. This is crazy.
Either sell their second home, or he considers them affluent enough that they had their turn and it's time to sell because they will not be able to afford, especially retired people, a surcharge property tax on top of a property tax.
Like that 81-year-old woman.
On top of insurance. And if you have a lot of sales, the house price drops. If the house price drops, Mamdani can come in and either buy them for the city or subsidize the, quote, oppressed poor to buy. It's a huge redistribution plan.
What a great way to lower housing prices. Mamdani's going to come in after he destroys the housing market in New York and nobody wants to live here because crime is through the roof and everyone's getting punished for owning anything. And he's going to say, yeah, before I came in, prices were here and I got them down to here. I did a good job. I destroyed the market. And now it only costs this much to live here. You know, there's parts of America where you could buy a home for $1. In Detroit, Michigan, you could buy homes that nobody wants. Yeah, let's get the price down there. Then we'll really have affordability, won't we? What a thriving place we'll be looking at. Oh, man. Everything about this is a nightmare. but it's all going to be spun as if it's been the greatest thing since sliced bread. When the sliced bread has been removed from the free grocery store by the people selling it on the sidewalks out in front of the free grocery store that costs the city nothing to operate, the excuse is going to be, well, it's so popular. There's so many people that need help. We didn't realize the crisis was this bad. We need 500 free grocery stores. And then when they destroy the property values and everything costs nothing because it's all being given away, thrown away, abandoned, they're going to say, yeah, I fixed the house.